So we just broke down the offensive tackles. But let's be honest, guys. It's that whole offensive line that can use some help. We'll talk about offensive guards coming out this season, coming into the NFL Combine, and what to look out for. Welcome to Believe Talk. My name is Joe, and like I said in the intro, we talked about the offensive tackles, but we need help at pretty much a lot of the offensive line, as the offensive line is one of the weakest in the NFL last year for the Buffalo Bills. So now we want to talk about the offensive guards. Who's coming out? Who looks to impress at the NFL Combine? And let's talk about my top 10 at that offensive guard position. Before we do that, however, welcome to Believe Talk. My name is Joe. If you're new to this channel, guys, hit that subscribe button. Not only do we have you covered for everything related to the NFL Combine, guys, the NFL Combine starts tomorrow. So, very excited about that, and we'll go over the schedule at a future day as well. But we'll have you covered throughout the NFL Combine leading up to the NFL Draft. Be live right here for the NFL Draft, day 1 and day 2. So get excited about that. And then also have you covered for the regular season, the preseason, the regular season, the postseason, and throughout. So if you're a fan of Buffalo Bills, if you're a fan of Buffalo sports, not only do we cover the Buffalo Bills, we cover the Buffalo Sabres, cover the Buffalo Bulls, Bisons, Bandits, all of it right here. Some breaking news for you. We'll have it for you here on Believers Talk. So hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Let you know when we go live. Again, we'll be live for the draft. I've been live for a Sabres game or two. We'll do Buffalo Bulls games come March for March Madness. We know they're going to make the tournament. We know they're going to do well in the tournament. How well they do, we'll see. And I also go live for every single Buffalo Bills game. So I look forward to doing that again for you this season. So hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Like this video. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about some of these offensive guards that we're going to talk about today. And in this edition, that's exactly what we're going to talk about, the offensive guard position. Now, some of these names you will have heard in the offensive tackle breakdown as well. Do you know why? Because they're versatile. What is Coach McDermott and Brandon Beane's favorite word? Versatility, okay? So they'll be on both sheets because that's what moves them up the draft board, guys. If you have a great offensive tackle and then a great offensive tackle also can play guard, this guy's going to get a little bit of an edge, a little bit of advantage, and deservedly so if you play multiple positions on the offensive line. So before I do my top 10, what I want to do, since in the last video I did my top 10, then I did the sleepers, who I'm sleeping on, who I think might do better come draft day than some of the experts predict. In this episode, we're going to talk about the sleepers first. Who are my sleepers? Who do I think come the combine are going to impress and maybe move up the boards on draft day? Some of these guys, third day draft picks might move into day 2. Undrafted might move into that drafted range, and we'll just see what happens. But my first sleeper is Derwin Gray, guard out of Maryland. This guy's 6'5", 330 pounds. As a junior, 2 years ago, this guy was ranked the top offensive lineman on Maryland's football team. Now, obviously, that's a small sample size. I understand that. But look at Maryland's offseason, and especially this gentleman, Derwin Gray's offseason. You talk about, first he had knee surgery during the 2017-2018 offseason, okay? Comes into 2018 just getting back from that knee surgery. So obviously his game struggled a little bit, especially early on in 2018. Don't forget about the offseason, guys, that Maryland had. Maryland had a death of a teammate, Jordan McNair. Jordan McNair died because of heat exhaustion during the offseason. So instead of getting ready for football, he's answering questions about the coaching staff, about the training exercises they do, about if they're equipped properly, about their hydration schedule, things like that. They're not getting ready for the season. They're answering all these questions about what's going on at campus. So it's really hard to concentrate, really hard to get focused. And if there's something else that's gonna help you lose focus, it's having a pregnant girlfriend or pregnant fiance or pregnant wife. Okay, that might take your mind off of your job, which in this case would have been him playing guard for Maryland. He had other responsibilities, and there's no doubt about it. That's a bigger and more important responsibility. But now he doesn't have to worry about that. And his daughter, who is now, I didn't write down, but I think she's now 10 months old, can be used as motivation should consistently drive to get better. In a recent interview, he spoke about his daughter and how she is the biggest motivation in his life, and as well as she should be. But that motivation just drives him to do some more. Maybe work out in the weight room a little bit longer. Maybe get some extra reps. Maybe work harder leading up to the combine. So I'm watching this guy. I'm watching him closely. A lot of things interrupted his 2018 season. So he didn't play as well as in 2017. But maybe if he gets back to 2017 form, maybe he's someone to look out for. Talking about Venzel Bulware, guard out of Miami, 6'3", 306 pounds. Sleeping on this guy. He was a transfer from Tennessee. What does that mean? That means he can't get comfortable in a coaching staff. You know, he spent 2 years in Tennessee learning that coaching staff, learning that scheme. And I'm not saying schemes for a guard are that much different, right? You either know how to play offensive guard or not, but some blocking schemes are different. You know, running and pass blocking, completely different stories. So, you know, whether one team might run more than the other team, and the other team might pass more than the other team. So, you know, Tennessee, SEC school, so you imagine they probably run a little bit more. Where in with Miami and the ACC, they pass a little bit more. So there could be a little bit of a difference there. So maybe there is some getting used to, if you will, for that. Won the job at guard in 2018, even though Miami started off with the guard as a rotating position. They said their offensive line was going to be rotating at the beginning of 2018. 3 weeks in, he wins the starting job. So since it's a rotating job to start the season, you know in practice reps and during the season, he's not getting the same amount of reps as some of these starters are. So he might not be as well developed as some of these other guys are, as some of these starters are. He was a 4-star offensive lineman coming out of high school. Okay, 4-star offensive lineman. ESPN ranked him in the top 100. You don't get there, 100 prospects, of course. You don't get there by not being good at what you do. Watch Venzel Bulware, guard, Miami. Watch him at the combine, see how he does for you. And then the last one I have, just because you can't have a list without a player from Alabama there. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a list without someone from Alabama. Lester Cotton, guard, Alabama, 6'4", 319 pounds. Good size for this guy. Athletic upside, good run blocking, not as great at pass blocking. So he needs to work on that. Needs to work better on getting some good leverage. But I tell you what, this guy has good athleticism, has a huge upside. Came out a year early, so some scouts said maybe he should stay there. But he's going to be at the NFL Combine. Watch out for him. See how he does. Those are my 3 sleepers at the guard position. Again, I think one of those guys is due to be like maybe a sixth round pick or even undrafted. A couple of those guys, all of them day 3 guys, might move up a little bit. If you watch out, might move up a little bit. So now, let's get into my top 10. We're talking the top 10 guards, in my opinion, coming out this year, coming into the NFL Combine. Let's see if it continues to be that way going into the NFL Draft. We all know that this Combine, you either make or break yourself sometimes, so especially in the offensive line position. So first, I want to talk about Cody Ford. Again, talked about him in the tackle breakdown as well. Cody Ford, versatile player, plays both guard and tackle, even can be thrown in at center. 6'5", 355 pounds from Oklahoma. Talk about this guy a little bit. He broke his leg in 2016. And then in 2017, he was still healing from a broken leg. Played while he was still healing from a broken leg. Did not play great, but played well. Played average is what some of the scouts said. Played pretty good since he was on a hobbled leg. And then 2018 is when you saw all kind of click in. He was a monster on that offensive line in 2018. And so you just think, well, if he continues to grow, if he continues on this trajectory of greatness, well, then you got a really great offensive guard or offensive tackle, wherever you want to use him. He has a size to be either 6'5", 355 pounds. You have to think about that as a potential, maybe even a first-round pick. Trade back a little, right? Maybe not 9, or maybe at 9 if he's there, but trade back a little if you can. Maybe get an extra 6th, 5th-round pick. Who knows? Who cares, right? I mean, if you get extra picks, you get extra picks. You can't complain about it and still get your guy. I mean, look what happened a few years ago when we got Tre'Davious White, right? Got an extra first-round pick out of that deal and still got the guy we pretty much wanted. So you really got to like that idea. Number 2 on my list is Michael Dieter, guard from Wisconsin, 6'5", 304 pounds. Again, versatile, played guard, tackle, and center in his collegiate career. So you have to look at that. He's good at both the run and pass blocking, and he has good size and strength. You can't teach those things. You can teach scheme, you can teach leverage, you can teach things like that. Size and strength, just go work out in the weight room, guys. That's what you need to do. You can't teach that. That's something that you can work on without a coach. And he's got that size, so that's something you can use. Number 3 on my list, Eric McCoy, guard/center from Texas A&M, 6'3", 210 pounds. Did well. He's skipping his senior season, so he does need a little bit more of improvement. Maybe a little more. Wet behind the ears, if you want to say, as far as what he needs to learn. But he can learn those things. Again, some things are teachable, and that includes leverage, blocking schemes, things like that. Can continue to do that. Has strong hands, good feet, and good awareness. Okay, so he's quick off the snap. Has good feet, able to plant his feet well against defenders, and able to push them back instead of having them push him back. So those are all things you want to have. Strong hands, again, able to move bodies around with his hands. So that's very impressive, something you need at the offensive line position. Chris Lindstrom is number 4, guard from Boston College, 6'3", 303 pounds. Plays with good leverage. Again, very important at the offensive line guard position. You need good leverage. Heavy hands to manipulate defenders. Again, strong hands, something that you need. Again, be able to move defenders where you want them to go, not the other way around. And then he's a plug-and-play starter, so you can plug him in here and there, maybe have a rotating basis. And again, we all know Bean, McDermott, we know they love the versatile players. We know you love those guys that can come in and out of a rotation, and that's what they want to do for the Buffalo Bills, to continue to have success in the fourth quarter or later in games as the game goes on, as other teams might get tired. You bring in some fresh bodies, some guys who haven't played the whole game, able to do their job. So, number 5 on the list, Michael Jordan. Not the basketball player. Probably not the basketball player, a little old to be playing in the NFL, but Michael Jordan, guard/center, 6'6", 312 pounds, from Ohio State. Played center in 2018, and again, that's something we need to look at, because the center position is something that can improve as well. Now, a lot of you think that we're going to look at the free agency for our center, and that's possible. We definitely could do that, but there's no reason why we can't back that up in the draft with someone who could play multiple positions. So we may do that, and this might be the guy to get it done. Again, Michael Jordan is also skipping his senior season, so maybe needs to learn a few more things, maybe needs to have a couple more reps in the weight room, but 6'6", 312, already a pretty big guy ready to fill in at that guard position in the NFL. Number 6, I have Connor McGovern, guard/center from Penn State, 6'5", 312 pounds. He's a much better run blocker than a pass blocker, so he needs to work on his pass blocking, needs to work on his leverage, needs to work at bending at the knees instead of the waist, and getting good leverage against defenders, especially against the bull rush. Needs to do much better against the bull rush in the NFL. Good height, good weight, good length. Could use getting stronger, but other than that, good prospect. Number 6 overall, Connor McGovern. And again, guys, this is a weak class for offensive guards. All right, so some of these guys might be boosted up just because guards are a position need in the NFL. Offensive line is a position need with a lot of teams in the NFL. You look at just our division alone, you look at the Jets, you look at the Dolphins, you look at the Bills, all could use offensive line help, and obviously the Patriots could always use extra players on that offensive line as well. So you look at these guys, they might do a little bit better in the draft just because of the position they play in the year they're coming out. Number 7, again, the guy we talked about in the offensive tackle breakdown, that's Nate Davis, guard, offensive tackle from Charlotte. Good Senior Bowl week. Can't say much more about this player here. Obviously, Charlotte, not a bigger school, but you saw him at Senior Bowl week. Had a great week there and had a good game at the Senior Bowl. So we'll see how he does at the Combine. That's a guy you need to watch at this NFL Combine as they continue to break down these players. Number 8, B.J. Autry, guard, Jacksonville State. Good size. I didn't write down his size, unfortunately, so I don't have it on me. Sorry about that. But good size, comes from a small school. And personally, guys, I love the small school stories, right? You have this guy from a smaller school coming up, trying to make a big name for himself, wasn't recruited highly. Look at our current quarterback, Josh Allen, right? Not recruited by many teams, only one, Wyoming, and he went on to be a star there, and hopefully he comes to be a star in the NFL. Hope the same thing for this guy, B.J. Autry, guard from Jacksonville State. Number 9 on my list, Max Sharping, guard, offensive tackle from Northern Illinois. Again, you talk about the versatility. 6'5", 320 pounds, so he has a good size to him. Can play either guard or tackle. Might with that size might be forced for that guard position in the NFL, but still could be a good guard. Good with his hands, good at pushing people around. So again, that's something very important when you reach the offensive guard position. And then number 10, I'm going to mess up this name completely, so I apologize. If anyone's watching who's a Wisconsin Badger fan, you probably know who I'm talking about. We're talking about Biao Ben Shul, from guard from Wisconsin, 6'6", 307 pounds. Good run blocking, good situational type guard player, come in and out of the lineup as well. But he did not impress at the Senior Bowl. So that's something that you want to watch at the Combine as you face these tests, as you face challenges against other elite players. Other players are going to be drafted in this year's NFL draft. You want to see how he does compared to those players. So, went up against some NFL talent at the Senior Bowl, did not impress. Hopefully he can press a little bit more at the Combine and hopefully work on his draft status. But I have him as 10th as on the offensive guard board. So please let me know what you think. I know the offensive guard position, the offensive line position isn't that flashy wide receiver, running back position, but it is a position of need for the Buffalo Bills. So we will continue our coverage on what to watch for at the Combine. We did the offense now. We went through the wide receiver, went through the running back, went through the offensive tackles, went through the offensive guards, snuck in some centers in here as well. Finished with the offense. Those are all the positions of need for Buffalo on that side. Going to start on the defense. Next episode, we'll talk cornerback. We'll talk maybe a little defensive tackle, defensive end. We'll see how it goes. Guys, Combine is now. Combine is here. And so we look forward to watching on NFL Network. If you can't watch on NFL Network, if you don't have NFL Network, don't worry, guys. We have covered right here on Believers Talk. So if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Leave a comment. Again, let me know what you think about these offensive guards. Not the sexy, flashy position, but still a position need. So I look forward to seeing you all at the next episode when we start talking about that defensive side of the ball. Look forward to talking to you guys about the Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Sabres, Buffalo Bulls, and all things Buffalo sports. We'll see you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.